Hello, hello. Got any sound or not? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, already. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I will show you again. Okay, for example, I go to this website again. Okay, connect.sql.com.my. Okay, if later on you want to try, you can give it a try. Okay. So you just click on this one, SQL account e-invoice, which is the live demo account. Okay, so you just click on it. Oh, okay, hold on. I close all of this first because this one I think is other people use for testing, so you can see they are open some windows. Okay, so you just close all. Okay, so this interface is the same as yours one, which is maybe if you are using the desktop SQL version, so it is the same lah. Okay, but you have to check on your version, is it the latest one? Okay, before you log in into the SQL, you check on the last three digit at the bottom here. Okay, for example, right now I show you it's about 869, right? So you can check on your SQL version, is it the latest one, 869? So if yours one is not the latest, maybe you can request an update. Like maybe you can WhatsApp to the support team, so they will all troubleshoot in your PC and then upgrade for you lah. Okay, so this is the latest version 869. Okay, so right now I will log in. Okay, so before we want to do the linking from the my text to the company profile, which is inside the SQL here, so we need to do some registration inside the my text, right? Okay. So I will show you how to do the registration now. But I will just using the guideline and the PDF file to show you because I don't have the real one, the MyTax ID to show you. Okay. So if you want to check this one also can. Okay, for example, I go to this website, sql.com.my, which is the official website for the SQL. Then you just click on the e-invoice button here. So inside here, we got four buttons here. You can click on it. Okay, first, we need to do the setting for the onboarding first. Okay, you just click on onboarding guide. Okay, so here are some steps you need to follow, and then you need to do some registration. Okay, first we go to do the registration inside the my tax first lah. So you click on view. Okay, so here are the steps. Okay, I don't know you guys realize that for the e-invoice server, actually we got two servers, which is the actual server is under the mytax.hasil.gov.my. This is the actual server. Okay. And then we got another testing server, which is under the the pre-production. Okay, this one is only for the testing purpose. So if you want to do any testing, okay, so you can register the MyTax inside here lah. So which means that if you want to do the testing and you have to start the e-invoice on this coming July, right? So you have to register for both sides, which is the MyTax and also the pre-production. If you want to try for both lah. Okay, but if you don't want to try, you can also using this one, the cloud version, because HQ already linked all the setting inside here. Okay, I mean the pre-production lah for the testing. So you may using this testing database to do some testing, like maybe how to submit the e-invoice, like how to check on the e-invoice status, all of this. We can using this database to do the testing if you don't want to register your company under the pre-production. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, not compulsory need to register under the pre-production lah. Okay, so even though for the pre-production or maybe the MyTax, both are the same step lah. Okay, for the registration. So right now I'm using this one, the guideline to show you how to do the registration under the MyTax. Okay, so first of all, you need to log in. I mean, you need to go to this website lah, or you have to go to this website. Okay, if you want to register for the testing. Oh, okay, okay, sure, sure, sure. If I'm going too fast, maybe you can stop me, so maybe I can show you lah. Okay. Okay, so for this one, you can go to this website first, and then you can see the login page. Okay, so you may just put in the director IC number and also the password to log in. Okay, so after that, after you log in, you will see for this page. Okay, so after that, you just click on the My Invoice on top. Okay, So for the registration, after you click the My Invoice, it will come to this page, which means you have to like scroll down to the bottom and then you tick for I accept the terms and conditions, and then you just click on continue. Okay. After that, the next page is you have double check your company details. Okay, for all the things like maybe the company name, for the SST registration number. Okay, all of this you have to double check and see is it filling correctly. Okay, after that, next is you have to fill in your notification email. Okay, so the default notification language you also can choose, but mostly we will choose as the English. Okay, so after that, we just click on save. Okay, once you click save, it will come out this page, which is the registration completed. Okay, so this is the registration step lah. So it is very easily. So you just go through it and then you just click on finish setup. Okay, so this is the first step you have to do. Okay, if you check on the pictures, you still don't understand, maybe you can click on the videos here. So inside have the full steps, like how to do the registration inside the My Invoice portal. Okay. So any question about this one for the first step, which is the registration? If no, I will go to the next step, which is the register ERP lah. Okay, for this one. Okay, so I scroll to the bottom. Okay, so why we need to do the register ERP inside the My Invoice portal? Okay, because we need to authorize the accounting software to connect to the My Invoice portal, because we need to let the IRB that we are using the SQL accounting to do the e-invoice submission. Okay, so that's why we need to do the registration here lah. Okay, also the same, you just log in inside the My Tax. Okay, click on this one, the My Invoice here. Okay, so this is the next page. Okay, just now, when we click on the My Invoice, it will let you to like tick the checkbox for the I accept, right? So for right now, after you click the My Invoice, it will go to this page, which is after you registered it. Okay, so after that, you just click on the right hand side on top here. You click the arrow key down, and then you click on View Taxpayer Profile. Okay, next, it will go to this page. So you just scroll down to the bottom and then you look for the registered ERP. Okay, you just click on it. So some got some information that you have to fill in, like the ERP name you have to fill in and the client secret expiration. So you have to put the period. Okay, so you just follow the instruction here. Like ERP name, maybe you just give it a name like SQL account ERP. And then the secret expiration, you just put like the maximum is 3 years. So you just put as 3 years will do. And then for the bottom one, the checkbox, you need to tick for the primary ERP system. Okay, after you fill in all the details here, you just click on register. Okay, so after you click register, IRB My Invoice here will prompt out to this page. Okay, which you can get your client ID, client secret 1, and client secret 2. So all of this detail, you need to using it to linking to the SQL accounting. Okay, so the left hand side is the SQL accounting page, but this one is the old version. For the new version right now, I show you. Okay, new version right now is looking like this. Okay, we go to the file. We go to the company profile. Okay, we click save first. Okay, after that, you just click on My Invoice. And then we click Connect My Invoice. So this is the new version interface. So we got production ERP, which is the actual server, which is the My Tax website. And then this is the sandbox ERP, which is the pre-production, like I told you just now, this one. Okay, so see whether your registration is under which website. So it will fall on under which server lah. Okay, so for example, if you register for the sandbox, so the client ID, client secret 1 and 2, you need to retrieve from the pre-production here. Okay, and then this is for the actual one, which is from the My Tax. So just now the information here, okay, you just copy. You can click this icon, the copy icon from here. and then you just come to the company profile here, and then you just paste to it. Okay, so you paste all the information here. Okay, and then you just click on register ERP. Okay, after you're done for the ERP, right? So we need to do for the intermediary also. Okay, intermediary is, okay, ISDN provide two options for business to issue the e-invoice. Like first one is manually issue the documents through the My Invoice portal, which maybe you need to like go into this website, My Invoice, and then you have to key in the 55 mandatory fields by your own self, and then submission using their portal. Okay, this is one of the way. Sorry that we don't have the handbook. So if you want, I can share you the link for this one. This one is open for public for this guideline because we didn't I mean we didn't create the handbook. So I will just like go through like using the guideline provided. If you want, I can share you the guideline for this one. Okay, for example, okay, this one. So maybe after the training, you can log into this website, and then you can still go through for the step lah. Okay, so we come back to here. So we need to do the intermediary. Okay, just now is one of the steps that how you do the submission for the e-invoice, which is you need to log in into the My Invoice portal, and then you type in all the information by yourself. Then you do the submission inside their portal. Okay, this is one of the way. Okay, second way is you have to using the SQL accounting software to do the submission. Like for example, if you got purchase of SQL accounting software, so you have to using this software to help you to do the submission. So you have to let the IRB know that you are using the accounting software to do the submission. Okay, so that's why we need to register SQL accounting lah. Okay, so also the same. So you log in and then you go to the My Invoice. Okay, so also the same step. Okay, you click on this one, the right hand side on top, and then you click on the view taxpayer profile. Okay, also the same, you scroll to the bottom, you add intermediary. Okay, just now we did for the registered ERP, right? And then we got the client ID and then the client secret 1 and 2. So right now we need to register for the intermediary. Okay, so you click add intermediary, so it will prompt up for this box. Okay, let's say if you are using the SQL accounting to do the submission for the invoice, right? So you need to fill in the HQ details because they are the developer that create the SQL accounting the software. So you need to put their information inside here to authorize it. Okay, so here are some information. Okay, this is the TIN number for our HQ company, which is the eStream MSC Syndrome Berhad. Okay, and then this is the SSM number for the HQ company lah. This is the new SSM number. Okay, so you just put it at here, all these three information. After that, you just click on continue. Okay, next, you just insert the representation expiration. Okay, for this one. If you can leave it blank, you just leave it blank. If IRB insists on you to put in the year, right? So maybe you can put as 3 years lah. Okay, and then for the permission at the bottom here, you have to open it for all. After that, you just click on save intermediary. Okay. Okay, intermediary. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, I scroll to the top. Okay, so these are the explanation. Okay, so RSDN got provide two options for business to issue the e-invoice. Okay, first is using the My Invoice portal manually. No? Like for example, you log in into the My Invoice. Okay, and then you just key in all the 55 mandatory fields by yourself. Then you fill in all the customer details and the items that you want to bill lah. Okay, or you key in by your own self inside the My Invoice portal manually. Okay, this is one of the way. Okay, another way is using the API integration. API integration is you using the third party software, and then you do the linking to the IRB software to do the submission. Like for right now, maybe you're using the SQL accounting software. Okay, so we need to put all this information to do the integration, to do the linking, and then let the IRB know that we are using the SQL accounting to do the submission for the e-invoice. Okay, so you just let the IRB know that I'm using the SQL accounting to submit the e-invoice lah, which means I'm using the API integration. Okay, so this is why you need to do the intermediary. Okay, so you just follow all the steps inside here. After that, you come back to the company profile and then you click test intermediary. It should be successfully lah. Okay, so this is the step how you need to do the registration. Okay, so okay, I do a conclusion on this. Okay, first, you need to do the registration first under the My Invoice portal lor. Okay, no matter you do inside the MyTax website or you do inside the pre-production, it's up to you. Okay, the pre-production is for right now. If you want to do the testing, okay, so you can register it inside here lah. All the features is the same as the actual one, but they separate into two server only. Okay, this one is the actual MyTax. Okay, so you need to go through all these steps and then you have to click the I accept button and then you have to put in your company details. You have to double check. Okay, after that, you just click on the save button. So registration will be completed. So this is the first step. Okay, second step, you need to register the ERP. Okay, ERP is to authorize the accounting software to connect with the SDN My Invoice portal. Okay, so also the same, you just log in into the My Tax or maybe the pre-production, and then you click on this button, My Invoice. Okay, so after you click the My Invoice, it'll be showing this page. Okay, so you just click on top for the right hand side on top lah, and then you click the arrow key down, and then you click for the View Taxpayer Profile. This one should be showing as your company name. Okay, after that, you just go to the bottom, register for the ERP. Okay, so also the same, you follow all these steps. So after you've done, you will have the client ID, secret 1 and 2. So all this information you need to copy and then you paste it inside the SQL accounting for linking purpose. Okay, this is the ERP. So next is the intermediary. Okay, also the same. Yes, need to register also because the pre-production is for you to testing only. So start from July, you need to submit the invoice, right? So for that moment, the invoice submission will go to the MyTax. So for right now, you can register for both lah, for the MyTax and also the pre-production. So which means that after you register for both server, right? So you just put in the details for both here. Okay, after that, the e-invoice start date, you can choose as maybe this one. You can click the three dots here. Okay, so you can click on this one, the phase 3. Okay, after you put in all the details, right? So 1 week before the implementation, the date start lah. Okay, so system will prompt a notification to let you know that do you want to switch the server from the sandbox to the production? Okay, so you have to register for both lor. But if you don't want to do like so many things, okay, but you still want to do some testing, you can also using this one, the cloud one. I mean this one to do the testing if you don't want to register the pre-production. Okay, so this is the step how you do the registration. Okay, so anything regarding the registration part? This one you can always uh may I know what is the PMS? Is another software? Okay, just want to check with you lah. You will using the SQL to do the e-invoice submission or not? Or If you didn't use the hotel software, so for your hotel sales, you'll be using the PMS to do the submission, right? For the e-invoice, or you'll be using the SQL. Oh, okay. Okay. Then for the accounting part, you'll be using the SQL to do the accounting, right? Okay. So I think okay. So for the PMS, you also need to do the for the integration, okay, because you need to do the invoice submission. But I'm not sure that you have any like the sub view you need to do or not. If you have sub view need to do, then you have to do the linking inside the SQL as well. Because just now, the PMS that you mentioned is only for the hotel sales, right? So for the expenses part and also for the purchase part. Yes, yes, expenses on and also for the purchases, if you have. So the one you did under the aspect accounting, right? If yes, then you need to do the integration as well for the SQL accounting. Okay, all right. Okay, so we come back to here for the SQL accounting. Okay, just now I show you is under the file company profile, right? Okay, for this one, the my invoice, okay, if later on, after you log in your SQL database, if you can't see for this tab for the my invoice, okay, we have two reasons why you can't see. Okay, one is because you didn't add on the invoice module. Okay, so you have to contact the support team and then you have to add on the module lah. Okay, if you still haven't add on inside the SQL the package. Okay, this is one of the reason. Okay, another one is because the country you didn't choose as Malaysia. Okay, because if you are using the database start from like maybe a few years ago, okay, at that moment, the country is showing as blank at here. Okay, so right now you have to choose as Malaysia, and then you have to re-log in again. Then only you can check on the My Invoice tab. Okay, so got two reasons. If you can't see your My Invoice tab at here. Okay, so after that, after you do the linking, right? So under the general part here, you also need to do some, I mean, you have to fill in some information. Like for example, the SSN number you have to fill in. You just click on the magnifier icon here. Okay, so system will help you to look for the SSN number for this company lah. This is for the new one. This is for the old one. Okay, after that, this is the industry code, which is your company MSIC code. This one you have to refer from your tax agent, see whether your company is fall on which MSIC code, and then you just type in here. Like for example, this one is the one of the MSIC code, okay? So you can type in here, and then you can put in here. Uh, I think so, but maybe you have to log in into the My Tax, then only they can help you. But I'm not sure that this one uh will be like PNC for you or not, because they will look through your My Tax portal, right? For the if they want to help you to do the registration for the e-invoice. If you're okay with it, then I think my colleague will help you to do it lah for the registration for the e-invoice. Okay, so we come back to the MSIC here. Okay, if your company have more than one MSIC code, right? So you choose the majority one. Okay, so the bottom one, you have to put in your postcode. Uh, mm, you have to double check and see because I'm not sure that is it all the directors will be unable to. Okay, because your company have how many directors? More than one, right? There are four directors. Mm, okay, maybe you can try to log in one of the director first, see whether they can do the registration or not. Because I'm not sure that inside the my tax, right? I'm not sure that I need to choose the role selection or not. I don't know. Oh, hold on. You can log in one of the director first. If they can proceed to do the registration, then should be okay. because I'm not sure that this one, the role selection need to choose as the employer or not. Because I think that not all the directors are registered under the employer for that company. So I'm not sure can be done or not if you log in either one of the director, but you can give it a try on this. Okay, all right. If you got two company to do the e-invoice, yours one is the enterprise or Sdn Bhd. Sdn Bhd. Okay, for this one, Sdn Bhd, right? Okay. After you do the registration, you see this one, the taxpayer here. I think you can switch the taxpayer between two companies for this one because different company will have different TIN number, right? So maybe at here you can check on. I mean, you can see got two companies at here for the two Sdn Bhd. If maybe after you register, you can try and see. You have to click on here. This one maybe is one of the company. Okay, so if you have another company, you just click on switch taxpayer. So maybe it will have the arrow key to let you choose for another Sdn Bhd for this one. Okay. So if you have any inquiries for the e-invoice, right? Maybe you can go to the hold on, maybe I give you the email. I mean the general one okay. So maybe you can email to the IRB. Hold on hold on. I pause sharing for a while. I look for the email. Okay, for this one, right? Okay, this one actually is come from the official website for the IRB. Okay, so if you have any inquiries related to the invoice, you can just direct email to this email address. Okay, actually I have also emailed to the IRB before that, so they will reply also lah, but not immediately, maybe like within the 7 working days. So if you have any question, want to verify or anything want to ask, so you may just direct email to them. The officer will reply to your email. Okay, so I'm sharing to this email address to you. So if you have anything you want to ask, you just direct email to them. And then you also have the black and white also lah. So is more better. Okay. Because I'm still not very expert in the e-invoice part. I'm still learning also. Uh, IRB, I'm not sure they have or not. Mm, I have to try to search and see. If I have, then maybe I will ask my colleague to email to you lah. You got put an email address when you register for this training, right? If I have, I can email to you, but I'm not sure I can find it or not lah, because all the while I'm just looking at the SQL official website here, and then I just using this one to do the registration for the e-invoice. So for the IRB guideline here, I have to try to search and see. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so we come back to here. So okay, so you have to put in your MSIC code, no? Okay, after that, the bottom one, the postcode, you have to put it also. Okay, the city and the state you no need to put in, because once you then put in the postcode, system will automatically recognize like this postcode, it belongs to which city and state. Okay, like for example, if I put 1190, it should be Balapas Penang lah. So after you change, you just click on enter. So system will prompt for this message. Do you want to replace the city and state to the Balapas and Pulau Pinang? So click yes. So system will automatically change for you. Okay. And then the phone number also you have to fill in. And then email is optional, so depends on you, you want to put it or not. But if you have, you can put in, because this one also useful for you to put in inside the letterhead lah. Okay, so it's up to you. Okay, so these are the setting you need to do under the general part. So upper part you need to fill in, and then the bottom part you also need to fill in. Okay, so next is my invoice, also need to do the linking after you've done setting up the registration inside the my invoice portal. Okay, so these are the steps you need to do the setting first, the company profile. Okay, so is there any question you want to ask about for the general and the my invoice part? If not, I will go to the next step. Okay, so if no, I will go to the next one, which is the maintain customer part. Okay, so this one I close first. Okay, so next is we go to the customer, and then we go to the maintain customer. Okay, so these are your customer listing lah. Okay, so you have to go inside one by one, and then you have to look for the T number. Okay, so I will show you how to search for the T number. So we got two ways. Okay, first one is you have to double click one of the company name lah. Okay, you double click inside, and then you click edit. Okay, for example, you don't have the SSN number here. Okay, I erase all of it first. I show you how to search for the T number. Okay, for example, I erase all the information. Okay, so I come back here again. Okay, for example, you didn't fill in anything lah. Okay, so I double click, I click edit. Okay, so sure you have the company name, right? So right now you just click on the search button here, this one, under the registration number new, click on this one. So system will based on the, oh no, why this one cannot search? Okay. So system will based on the company name that you key in. So it will help you to look for the SSN number for new and also the old one. Okay, you just click for OK. So system will help you fill in the SSN number for new, and also under the note here for the old SSN number. And also the text here, the TIN number will also automatically fill in for you. Okay, so this is the TIN number for this Sendirian Berhad. Okay, this is one of the way that you can search the TIN number lah. Okay, another way is you can batch update the TIN number. Okay, so how do we do it? Okay, we inside the mini customer here, we don't click any one of the company name. Okay, we don't want to select one of the customer, and then we click edit, and then we search for it. Okay, so you just at the right hand side panel here, and then you right click, so you can choose for the TIN lookup. Okay, but right now because I'm using the testing company, so this one I cannot show you. Okay, I show you using my desktop version. Okay, for example, come to maintain customer. Okay, for example, this is my customer lah, Wisoft solutions. Okay, so I double click inside, you see I didn't fill in for the SSN number, and I also don't have the TIN number. Okay, so at here, I right click, and then I click for TIN lookup. Okay, so all your company will be showing at here lah for your customer. Okay, so all you need to do is you click the search button here. Okay, so system will help you to look for the SSN number new and old for this company. You just click for OK. So system will help you to fill in all the details here, including the TIN number. Okay, so all you need to do is if you have like maybe 10 customer or maybe like 20 customer, you just click on the search button, you click all of it. Okay, so system will help you to update all the TIN number. Okay, after you've done for this step, right, you just click on save. So system will help you to update the TIN number. So like for example, I just have one company, right? So one company has been updated successfully. So you just click for OK. So you close this window, and then we click the refresh button. You double click inside, the SSN number already filled in, and then the TIN number also fill in. Okay, this is how you look for the TIN number lah. But right now the TIN number, I think only can search for the Sdn Bhd. Okay, for the enterprise, maybe you need to get the TIN number from them. I'm not sure that because of maybe for the enterprise because they are sole proprietorship. So owner can register like many sole proprietorship and many enterprise, right? So that's why maybe system cannot capture the TIN number. So maybe for the enterprise, you need to retrieve the TIN number from the owner. Okay, so this is the TIN number. Okay, so we come back to here. Okay, so this is how you search for the TIN number lah. Okay, so we got two ways. Oh. Okay, after you done the TIN number, so inside the customer still got other setting you need to do it. Okay, for the address, I think you also you already update inside here, so I think this one you can skip. But this is the mandatory field. If you didn't fill in any address here, so you need to fill in lah. Okay, after that the country, and then the postcode. Okay, postcode is the same as the company profile just now. Okay, you just put the 5-digit at here. So system will recognize that this postcode is under which city and state. For Sdn Bhd, yes, but for enterprise, I think cannot. For enterprise, maybe you have to get the TIN number from them. Because this one, the TIN number is actually linked with the IRB server. So if for example, your customer is not using the SQL accounting software, right? You still can search for it. But only for the enterprise will be difficult a bit. So maybe you have to maybe request the TIN number from them. Yeah. Okay. So okay, so this one, the postcode you need to fill in for the 5-digit, and then the phone number. Okay, email is optional. If you have, you just fill in. Okay, for the bottom part, the currency is very important for the foreign buyer. Okay, for the local buyer, you just ignore. You may just remain as default, which is the 4 dash here. Okay, you just remain. Okay, so for the foreign buyer, you need to select the foreign currency here. Okay, let's say you can't see for the foreign currency here, right? Okay, which means that you need to create this currency code under the setting part. Okay, so how do we create the currency code? You need to go to the tools. Okay, maintain currency. Okay, so you have to click new if you want to create a new currency. Okay, I'll show you the example lah. Okay, for example, if you click new, all of this info is blank, right? Okay, so currency, for example, you want to create for the USD, so you just put as USD. So symbol also the same. Okay, and the ISO code is linked with the IRB. So you have to check from here, like this USD is belongs to which one. Okay, so mostly it's the same lah. Okay, and then this is the description. Okay, and then this is the buying rate and the selling rate. Okay, this one is just for the reference only. If you don't want to put anything, you just remain as one also can. Because when you issue any invoices or maybe any payment that you receive, inside the document, you still can amend the foreign currency rate. Okay, so this one is just for the reference only. Okay, after you're done putting all the information here, just click on save. Okay, so after that, you just come back to this customer and then you just search the currency here and then you select. Okay, make sure that this customer doesn't have any transaction before that. Okay. If you have the transaction, system are not allowed you to change the currency code. I check the message on hold on now. Okay, for the phone number, right? I didn't have the official guideline, but I just check on maybe the social media. Okay, so they usually it's written like in front you have to put as 6 and then follow with your phone number without the dash, without the spacing. Okay, and then for the email address, I think both is acceptable for the email address. But if you want to like more official, maybe you can email this one to the IRB. So maybe they will give you the official information. Because this one is based on my opinion. So I'm not sure that is it correct or not. But for the phone number, I really check on the social media, it is written like this, like maybe start with 6 and then follow with your phone number, something like that. But for the email address, I cannot confirm with you. You can try to email this information to the email address that I show you just now on top, right? You can just email to them. They will reply you. So like that, I think will be better lah. So you can get the official statement from the IRB, right? So after that, if you need to do some amendment, also can. Okay, so we come back to here for the currency. Okay, after that, for the e-invoice submission here, okay, for the default SQL, we'll choose it as e-invoice. Unless this customer is like maybe cashiers or maybe like walk-in customer, so you only choose as the consolidate. Okay, consolidate e-invoice is for those consumer doesn't run the business, so maybe they no need the e-invoice. So we just submit a consolidate e-invoice to the IRB to declare the sales only. Okay, so this is the setting for the general part. Okay, next we go to the text here. Okay, for the Sendra Berhad, usually we have the SSN number and also for the TIN number. Okay, but for the consolidate that I told you just now, so we sure doesn't have the ID type and also the TIN number, right? So for the consolidate, you have to choose as the general public TIN number, which is EI, follow with the 90 and then 10. Okay, so this is the general public for the local buyer, which doesn't need the e-invoice. Okay, and then this is the foreign buyer, this is the foreign supplier, and then this is the government. Okay, if the consumer is individual and then they request for the e-invoice, right? So maybe, okay, for example, this is the individual. Okay, if they provide you the IC number, right? The ID type here, you can choose as NRIC. So you just type the IC here. Okay, and then the TIN number, if they go provide you, you can also put in like maybe IG and then follow with the 12-digit number. If they don't have, you just leave it. You just put as the I think you just leave it lah for this one. Okay, this is for the individual lah. So you can choose the ID type at here. Okay, so these are the setting for the maintain customer. So general part is this part is important, and then bottom is the currency and the e-invoice. But usually the e-invoice you no need to change anything lah. Okay, because usually I think this one is the local buyer, right? So maybe they need the invoices. So you just remain as e-invoice will do. Unless for like this case, like maybe Cassius, you may just change it to the consolidate. Okay, and then the text for the TIN number also you need to change to general public. Okay, so this is for the general public, I mean for general user for the Cassius. Okay, so this is the setting for the maintain customer. Okay, next we will go to the supplier. Okay, supplier is actually almost the same as the customer, just got some different on the setting part. Like maybe they have the MSIC code here, and then they have the classification code. Okay, for the local buyer, sorry, for the local supplier, right? So the e-invoice submission, you just put as none will do because they already validate the e-invoice. So you don't need to do any submission anymore. Okay, so for the foreign supplier, then only you need to do the self-bill. So you have to change the submission to the self-bill, and then classification depends on your self-bill is based on which category. Okay, if you are importation of goods, you have to select S034. If yours one is like importation of services, so you have to put as 035 lah. And then other than that, you just put as 036. Okay, only add in for these two columns only for the supplier part. Other than that, it's still the same. like the SSN number and the TIN number under the text here. Also, you need to fill in lah. You just click on the search button here, or maybe you can look you can go to the TIN lookup to update the batch TIN number also can. Okay, so this is the setting for the customer and the supplier. So any question regarding on the customer and supplier side? Okay, so for this one, right, if you want to check on the guideline, okay, just now I share you for this link, right? So just now we already go through this step for the onboarding guide. So next we have to go to reference guide. Okay, you click on the reference guide. Actually, inside here got many information you can study. Okay, like step by step how to do the how to setting the invoice, and then what is the mandatory fields you need to update before issuing the invoice. Okay, like for example, customer, okay, you have to check and see, and then the bottom one is the supplier, I think. Yeah, so this is the stock item lah. Okay, so here are some steps like how you do the tin lookup. Hold on, I check on the question. Under 250, okay, do the invoice. Okay, for right now, you still can using the normal invoice to submit for the accounting part. Okay, but start from I think next year onwards, I think is July onwards, because the last batch is next year, 1st of January 2026, which is below 500K, right, for the last batch. So they will have a relaxation period for 6 months. So after the 6 months, I think you will have to get the e-invoice. So for right now, I mean today until next year for June, you still can using the normal invoice that you receive from the supplier. If they didn't do any submission for this period, it's still okay one. But after that, maybe you have to get the validated e-invoice from the supplier. I mean, start from next year onwards. But maybe for this moment, you can do some practicing, like get the e-invoice from the supplier. Okay. Okay. All right. Got another way to check that. See whether the company is it validated the e-invoice or not. Because actually, SQL got one function, which is under the purchase invoice part, right? Actually, you can import the e-invoice from your IRB. Okay, so if your supplier got issued an invoice to your company, so they will need your TIN number to submit for the e-invoice, right? So at here, you can check for the invoices. So if the invoices is showing at here, which means the invoices is validated, and then you can directly import into your SQL. Okay, I show you one. For example, I put as today date lah. Okay, because I don't want to show so many data at here. Okay, for example, this one, Volo wise is your supplier lah. Okay, for example. Okay, so they got using your TIN number, and then they got do the validation. So you can see the documents at here. Okay, so you can posting this document inside your SQL accounting. So all you need to do is you have to mapping some field lah. Okay, for example, you want to uh import this invoice, right? You just click on this invoice first. Okay, and then this one, the code you have to map to your supplier code. For example, this supplier. Okay, and then the bottom one you have to map for the item code. Okay, for example, this one, for example. And then if they have the tax amount here, you have to mapping for the tax code also. If don't have, you just ignore. After that, you just click for import. Okay, so posting done. After that, I close for this windows, I refresh. Okay, so you can see that this invoice is imported from the my invoice, which is they already validated for this invoice. So you can double click inside under the more here. You can check for the UUID and the long ID. Okay, this ID is generated by the IRB there. So if the document is validated, so they have the ID at here lah. For the tax free also have the uh tax free doesn't need to put the tax code, right? Or okay, hold on. Tax free I think also have a special tax code for the SSD, which is the SE if you issue the sales invoice to the customer. So what you mean is the mapping for the tax code lah, for this one. Is it what you mean by here for the tax code if your company is under the LMW? So what tax code should be mapping in inside here? Uh okay, maybe after that if you answer me then I will go through for this question lah. Okay, so I will come back to here. Okay, for this one, the guideline. Okay, this is the guideline. Okay, if you want to check for more information, you can come to this link and then you can check on the guideline up here lah. Like before start doing the submission for e-invoice, right? Like what information you need to do the update, so you can click on it and then you can double check. Okay. Okay, so we already done for the customer and supplier. So next we will go to the stock. Okay, for example, if you have stock control, right? So you also have the stock listing here. So under here, what you can do is you have to update your classification code. Okay, so we total have 45 categories for the classification code. So depends on your products is under which category. Okay, but SQL all will put under the default, which is the 022 others category first. So depends on yours one is under which category, so you have to update. Okay, so update also got two ways. One is you double click inside the stock item and then you edit and then you update one by one. Okay, this is one of the way if you doesn't have much product here. Okay, next is you can batch update for the classification code. Okay, so how we do it? Okay, for example, if you want to sorting by grouping lah, okay, for the stock group. Okay, for example, bedding accessories. Okay, for example, 10 items at here is under maybe one of the classification code other than 022. Okay, so right now I want to change it. Okay, so after you select the grouping, you just right click and then you click on select all. So system will have you highlight all the details here. After that, you just right click again and then you select the batch edit value. Okay, so we'll prompt out for this window. Okay, you tick for the classification. So check on here. So this grouping should be fall under which category lah. Okay, for example, I just simply put maybe under the computer, smartphone, or tablet. Okay, I just simply choose one of it because I still I didn't study like the 45 categories at here. Okay, so I just simply choose one of it. For example, 003. Okay, so I just click for OK. So system will confirm with you, do you want to updating for this 10 records? So you just click for yes. Okay, so change successfully. Okay, so right now you just double click one of it. So the classification, you change it to 003. Okay, so this is how you do it if you want to batch update for the classification code. Okay, classification code is a mandatory field inside the e-invoice, so you have to update it. Okay, so if your company doesn't have the stock system, right? Okay, so you can also amend the classification code when you issue the sales invoice. Okay, so how we do it? Okay, let's say I issue a new invoice. Okay, I go to sales, I go to invoice. So I just issue like normal way. I click new. Okay, so I select one of the company. for example, Jandela Spectrum. Okay, Jandela Spectrum is the testing company which is really got registered for the SSM. So if you want to do the testing, like when you're using the cloud, right, you can always choose as this one, this company. Okay, and then you just put the details that you want. Okay, after that, you click the plus button here. Okay, let's say if you don't have the item, right, you should just put the description that you want. Okay, so beside the item code, got a very small icon here, right? You click on it, and then you take the class come up. Okay, default is select as 022 others. So depends on right now, okay, maybe I change to this one, 003. So you can change it by yourself at here. But this one is you need to change every time when you issue the invoice if you doesn't have the stock listing. Okay, if you don't want to do it like this, maybe you can just create the stock item at here. Just a general one, okay? Like for example, maybe you provide services. Okay. Or well, maybe I just put as computer, okay, easier. Okay, for example, if you don't have the stock item, but you don't want to change the classification code every time when you issue the invoice. Okay. So usually it's default. So classification. So you just choose as a 003. Okay, just click save. Okay, after you create, you come back to here, choose a computer. So description, you can manually change any description that you want. But right now you see the classification code is automatically captured as 003. So you no need to change it by yourself every time now. Total got 45 classification code. So inside here got the explanation, but it's in Chinese version, I think. Uh, yeah, this one. Hold on. You see total got 45 classification code. Okay. So this one got Chinese version. So if you can understand Chinese, so maybe you can refer to the more description at the behind got Chinese word. Okay. So this is if yeah, if you cannot understand, then you just refer from the front line, which is the English one. Okay, this link I can share it to you if you want, so you can double check here. Okay, so total got 45 categories at here. So depends on your product is under which category. So you can update inside the maintain stock item. Yeah, I already share it to you. So sales I think need, but purchase I'm not sure. Purchase I think also need to put, right? I try and see see whether purchase also got purchase. Yeah, purchase also got the classification code. But if you got using the stock item, right? So they will linking together lah. I mean, if the stock item is choosing as 022, so it will also link as 022. So both sides, sales and purchase, will also showing as 022. Supplier invoice. Supplier invoice doesn't have for. Those one is asking about the local supplier or the foreign supplier one. Okay, local one, usually you will key in under the supplier invoice, but not under the purchase invoice. I mean, because purchase we got both sides to key in, right? One is under the supplier invoice, one is under the purchase invoice. So usually you key in under which side for the purchase or the supplier side. Supplier invoice. Okay. Okay, maybe I jot down this question. I asked the HQ and see whether the supplier side for the local supplier is it a must to key in the classification code or not? This one I get back to you. Because I check on the purchase side, they have the classification code, but for the supplier, I check on the field chooser here, it doesn't have. So maybe I double check with the HQ first. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, so we come back to here. Uh, because default all is under the 0 to 2, which is others. So you can study and see whether yours one is under, I mean this 45, 45, the classification correct. See whether yours one is under which category. If you check on this 45, still cannot I mean you cannot like put in this product is under which category, then you just put as 0 to 2 others is okay. Because 0 to 2 is others category. Because right now only have 45 category, right? So I think it cannot cover for all lah. So other than this 45, you really cannot find a category to fit in, then you just put as 0 to 2 will do. Okay, so we come back to here. Okay, just now we already done talking about the classification code, right? So right now we can try to issue the invoices and then to do the submission. Okay, before we start to do the invoices, right? Okay, for example, if your company practice got issued the quotation SODO, okay, you still also follow the same lah. Okay, so maybe your company maybe still will issue the quotation and then transfer to SO and then transfer to DO. After that, at the end, then you only transfer from DO to invoice. Okay, so you go to this one. But right now I will show you the example, which is I just start from the invoice. Okay, because I'm not sure the time is enough for me to explain all or not. Okay, so I will just start from the invoice. But for your company, depends on your practice is how, so you just follow will do. Okay, for example, I click new customer, I choose as Jandela Spectrum. Okay, item code, I choose I simply choose one. Okay, and then the quantity, you can put how many quantity that you want, and then the unit price, and also the classification code right now is captured is 0 to 2 because the default, the maintain stock item here, I select as 0 to 2. So right now when I issue the invoice, it also captured as 0 to 2. Okay, after that, you go to the left hand side here, more here. Okay, you can check the details. So this is the delivery address details. This is the billing details, billing info lah. And then the last part is the my invoice. Okay, so the submission for this invoice is submit as e-invoice, which is the one invoice, one invoice, not the console one. Okay, so and then this is the SSN number and also the TIN number for this company, Jandela Spectrum. Okay, if this one you want to fix, I mean you want to fix at here, right? You just click the pin here. Okay, so system will help you to pin the left hand side panel inside here lah. Okay, and then this is the MSIC code. This MSIC code is your company MSIC code, not the company one. Because the MSIC code for the buyer is not the mandatory field, but for the supplier is lah. Okay, and then bottom one, we have the UUID and the long ID. Okay, so what is the difference between these two ID? UUID is actually the document upload index ID. Okay, which means that okay, once I click save, right? Once I submit for this document, it will have an ID, which is the upload ID. Okay, long ID is the ID that this document has been verified, has been validated, then only you will have the long ID. Okay, I show you. Okay, let's say I already done key in all the information here, right? Okay, so right now I want to do the submission for the e-invoice. Okay, it's very easy only. You just click on the my invoice at the right hand side panel here. You click on it. So you click submit e-invoice. Okay, right now you'll see the sandbox, right? Which means I'm using the testing server to do the submission. You can also see the sandbox wording at the bottom here. Okay, so system is alert you that right now the submission all is for testing purpose only. It's not the real one. Okay, click on my invoice. and then submit sandbox e-invoice. So you have to wait for a while. So IRB there will verify it. So you see the status is in green tick. Okay, so this document is valid. So this is the UUID for this document, which is the document upload ID. And then this is the supplier information, the supplier company, supplier name, and then the buyer name, and then the total invoice amount. Okay, so this is the issuance date and time lah. Okay, so on top also have a QR code for this document. Okay, so be sure that this one is you already done validate for this invoice. Okay, so this is how you do the e-invoice validate submission for this. Okay, after that you close. Okay, right now you see the status is in refresh status. Okay, still is maybe submitted status lah. Okay, it's not the green tick. So you click the refresh button, you see the status will be changed. So this one which means that you successfully validate the e-invoice and then upload to the IRP there. So you can see you have the UUID and also have the long ID at here. Just now, after you done submit, right, you can only see the UUID at here, but the long ID is empty. So right now you can see for both ID at here. Okay, so this is how you do the submission for the e-invoice. This is for each invoice. I mean one invoice, not the console. Okay, after you're done, maybe you want to print out the invoice, right? So you click the preview button on top. Okay, so here got some format. Okay, if you want to using the default format that SQL provide for you, you can choose for this one. So this one is actually follow the requirement from the IRB lah. Okay, so this is your company details. So which is the supplier details, which is your company. And then this is the buyer details. Okay, and then this is the QR code. QR code will be generated after you done validate for this invoice. If this invoice doesn't validate, right, this QR code cannot appear at here. Directly email. I'm not sure that e-invoice. I'm not sure that for this one can work or not. This one. Maybe if you have because for this one the email I think you have to do some setting. Maybe you can call into a support team and see whether can I mean after you've done validate for this invoice see whether can direct email to the customer or not. I think should be can, but maybe need to do some setting. And then maybe not all the format can do the batch email lah. Because last time for the batch email, right? If you want to send out maybe the statement or maybe the invoices to the customer by batch, okay, only certain format can support it for this feature. Okay, like for example, maybe the FR3 format. Okay, I show you what is the difference between formats. Okay. For example, this is what we call as FR3 format. You see the preview page, you have the orange borderline at here, right? Okay, this is the FR3 format. And SQL also have another format, which is the RTM. Okay, this one, you see it doesn't have the orange borderline at outside. Okay, this format, it doesn't support for the batch email function because inside this format cannot fit in the coding and then let the system to direct email to the customer. Only the FR3 format can work. So maybe if you want to try for this feature, maybe you try to contact the support team and see whether maybe they try to do some setting and then maybe try to see whether can email to customer or not. This one I cannot confirm with you first because I doesn't testing before that. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so I show you for this one, this invoice. Okay, so this QR code will appear after the document validate. If the document is only the submitted status is still not the valid one, so this QR code will not be appear inside this invoice lah. Okay, so this is the invoice number and then the UUID and then the issuance date. So bottom one is the details. like the classification code, and then the item description, your quantity UM, and also the unit price, and also the subtotal. So bottom footer is the total amount, payable amount. So if this one is for the other currency, so it will show the currency code and also the exchange rate. The exchange rate will be showing at here. I show you for this one. Yeah, this one. The exchange rate you will be shown at here. So like I said just now, if just now you already create the currency code, right? If you doesn't put in the buying rate and the selling rate, so you can directly amend the exchange rate inside here. Okay. So this is the sample for the e-invoice just now. Okay. You guys can try to scan and see for this QR code, see whether is it show out the page that I showed you just now, which show the supplier name is eStream Software Syndrome Berhad, and the buyer is Jendela Spectrum, and the total invoice amount is about like 2050. Okay, you guys can try and see whether the QR code is work or not. Yeah, it works. Okay, can. All right. Okay, so this is the QR code lah. Okay, QR code is a must you need to put in inside the documents is let the buyer know that this invoice is already validated, which means that if the buyer is asking about like this document is already verified or not, so they can directly scan the QR code, see whether can come out the result or not. Like just now, if you guys scan the QR code, right? If you go to the IRB page, so that one is the real one. So which means it's already submitted to the IRB lah. Okay, so this one is the sample, sample format for the invoice, the SQL provided for you. But for your case, maybe right now you already have many template, right? Like based on different customer requirement. Okay, if you want to add in this QR code to your existing format, okay, I will show you right now like how you do it. Okay. I will show you in two format lah. Just now I show you got two format, right? One is RTM and another one is FR3. I will show you both format, how to add in this QR code inside the format. Okay, for example, I click this one is RTM. Okay, another one is FR3. Okay, so this one is the FR3. Okay, I put it side by side first. Hold on. I close this window. Okay, I let you have a clear picture. What is the difference between the RTM and the FR3? Okay, you see the FR3 have the orange borderline lah at outside, and then the RTM doesn't have. Okay, so these two will have different. Okay, so I was showing you the RTM first, how to add in for the QR code. Okay, you click on the blue color wording at the bottom here. Okay, this one is just the extra info to let you know. Okay, if you cannot catch up for this step, right? Actually you can look for the support team to help you add in the QR code inside your existing format. But right now I want to show you is because right now it's already June, and then I think the support team will become like busier. Okay, so if you don't want them to help you, you want to do it by your own self. Okay, you can study first and then you can add in the QR code by yourself lah. You no need to wait for the support team to help you add in the QR code. Okay, so right now I will guide you how to do it. Statement of account, I think you no need to put the QR code because you no need to submit for the statement of account, right? This one is only for those documents is submit to the e-invoice, submit to the IRB, then only can generate the QR code. So for SOA, I think don't need lah. Okay, so after you click the blue color wording at the bottom, so it will show you for this page. Okay, so if you want to enlarge for this screen, you just click to the right bottom here. You can see the percentage at here, right? So you can increase the percentage to make it bigger a bit lah. Okay, so right now I will show you how to add in. Okay, the bottom one we already have the QR code for this one, but this one is only for the new format right now, for the default format. But for yours one, I think doesn't have. So right now we need to add in this QR code at your at your existing format. Okay, so how we do it? Okay, at first you have to click the QR code, which is this one, DB2D barcode. Okay, which is this one is the first row. Maybe this one is the center one. Okay, so behind last two, this one the icon, you click on it. Okay, you just simply choose the place to put first. Okay, so it will come up for this one. But this one is not the barcode type that we need, right? So we need to change it to the QR code. Okay, so we, at the left hand side here, the properties here, we need to do some setting. Okay, the barcode type, we need to change it to the BC QR code, the third one. Okay, so you see the barcode type is already changed to QR code. Okay, and then the pre-human readable, I have to untick. Okay, because we don't need to we don't need to show the wording at we don't need to show the characters at the bottom for the QR code. So we just untick it lah. Okay, see the bottom will show the wording, right? So we no need, you just untick. Okay, after that, the auto size you untick, and then you tick for the auto scale. Okay, after that, we need to change the size. Height, we change to 0.787, and then the width, we change to 0.787 also. So it will be the square shape at here lah for the QR code. Okay, after that, you just maybe use your mouse cursor to move, like maybe you want to put a QR code at which place. Okay, so for example, I want to put it right hand side for the top corner at here. Okay, after you're done, you can click on the file. Okay, see whether you want to save, which is overwrite your existing format. If you don't want, you want to save as a new format, just click on save as. Okay, after that, you just give it a name. Okay, for example, I want to arrange this format to be show as on top. Okay, so in front, I put the number first, then only I put the format name. Because system is based on the numeric and then follow with the alphabet. So if you want to this format to make it like top one, so you have to put the number in front there. Okay. Then after that, just click for save. Okay, so we close for this one. Okay, so I show you the format. I open again the invoice. Okay, so this one, double click. Okay, preview. Okay, you see this one will go to the top one, no? Okay, because I put the 01 in front. Okay, this one is because I'm using the sandbox server. So system is alert me that I'm using the sandbox server. So do you want to print with the QR code? If yes, you need to type in the admin password. Okay, and then you just print with QR. Sorry. I think I missed out one step. Sorry. Yeah, you need to map the field as well. Okay, just now we already done, right? And then for this one, data field, you need to choose as well. Sorry. This one you scroll to the bottom, you select as the IRBM validation link. Okay, which means that if the document is validated, then only the QR code will be prompt up. Yeah, so this one you need to select. So this one, I preview again. Okay, so you can see the QR code is showing on top. Okay, you guys can scan and see whether this one the QR code can scan and then any details come out or not. Is it the same as just now? This is the QR code that I add in right now lah. Got anything show up or it just show the empty one? Okay, it was okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so this is how you add in the QR code lah. Okay, under the RTM format. Okay, so I show you the guideline how to do it because just now I just showing the step, right? So if you cannot memorize it, so I can show you the guideline. So if you want to add in, you can follow the guideline lah. Okay, so this one is how to add in the QR code in RTM format. Okay, so I paste the link at here. Okay, so you just follow the step. So the step is just now I show you, like you click the blue wording and then you go inside this tab and then you click the icon. So you just setting for all of this lah. Okay, so this is the step how you add in the QR code inside the RTM format. Okay, right now I will show you for another format, which is the FR3. Okay, so this one, the orange borderline. Okay, also the same, you click the blue wording at the bottom here. You click on it. Okay, also the same, I will make it the QR code is right hand side on top here at the corner. Okay, if you want to enlarge the screen, right? Okay, the percentage you can increase it maybe like 150%. Okay, the barcode icon inside the FR3 is this one, the last one. Okay, you click on it and then you select as QR code. Okay, so you simply find a place to put first. Okay, so you have to mapping the field, right? So you click this one, you click the FX icon at here, click on it. Okay, under the main part, you look for the IRBM validation link. It should be yeah, at here, this one, validation link. Okay, you just double click for this one. Okay, so this one, the expression will automatically come up. Okay, you no need to like type anything at here. You just click OK. So we'll be showing at here. Lor. Okay, after that, the general part, we have to untick the auto size and then untick the text. Text is something same like the RTM, the human breathable text. So we no need. So we just untick for this and then we click OK. Okay, so you can see the QR code at here. Okay, after that, the left-hand side setting, we need to do some, yeah. So this one, you have to enlarge it. Then this one, you also have to enlarge it. Lah. Okay, so you have to click on the barcode first. Lah. Okay, so it will capture like you want to do the changes on the barcode, no? Okay, so right now is, okay, this one, I check, yeah, this one, data set. Just now, the RTM is automatically already captured as main, but right now the FR3 doesn't capture for you, so you have to select as main for the data set. And the data field, also the same, you scroll to the bottom, and then you select the IRBM validation link. Okay, you click on it. Okay, so this one already done mapping. Okay, and then you scroll to the bottom, the height and the width, you need to do some changes, like maybe you put as 2.00, width also the same. Okay, so yeah, the setting is done. After that, you click on file. Okay, see whether you want to override the format, or if you don't want, you want to save as a new format, you just click on save as. Okay, this one, maybe I just change the type to FR3. Then I save it. Okay, so we check on the result and see. Okay, also the same document, preview, FR3. Okay, this one you need to put the admin password because we are using the sandbox environment to print the QR code. Okay, so this is the QR code for the FR3. Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, I'll show you this one. This one is the FR3 guideline for the add the QR code. All right, so I already show you how to add in the QR code. So if you want to try, you can try it inside your format, but you can save as a new format. Lah. If the format you try is already corrupt or you don't want to use anymore, you want to delete. Okay, like for example, these two format I just done, I want to do the testing only, and then after that I want to delete it, right? Okay, you can go to the tools, and then maintain, sorry, you go to this one, report designer, you untick this standard. Okay, you select the format that you want to delete. Okay, for example, the FR3 I want to delete, I select it and I click the delete button and then I just click for yes. Okay, make sure that the format that you select is correctly, because once you delete, it cannot be undo. Okay, so this is the format. Okay, any question regarding on the adding the QR code inside the format, no matter it's the RTM format of the FR3. But this step is actually you can request the help from the support team lah, but I'm not sure that they can like help you on time or not. So if you want to learn it by yourself and then add in by yourself, also can. Okay, so if doesn't have any questions, so I will go to the next step. Okay, right now I already done submit the e-invoice, right? Okay, let's say this customer, Jandela Spectrum, refuse for, maybe they doesn't accept for this invoice, maybe have some mistake on this invoice. So they want us to do some changes. Okay, so how do we do the changes for this invoice? Okay, for the invoice, right? No. For the e-invoice document, we only have 72 hours to do the changes, which is 3 days. Okay, after you done validate for the e-invoice. Okay, so how we check the time frame for this document? Okay, before you click inside any document, right? You can see beside the document number, you can see this is the status, which is already validate. And then you can see this one, the gray color here, right? Got 2D. 2D means it's still remaining for 2 days to do the changes. And then if this one show up as like maybe 2 hours, 2HR, or maybe like 2M, between you still left for 2 hours or 2 minutes to do the changes. Okay, after 3 days, right? And then the customer doesn't agree your invoice, then all you can do is you have to CN for this invoice and then you reissue a new e-invoice. Okay, if after 3 days, if you want to do the changes. Okay, so right now I will show you if the invoice still within 3 days, you want to do the changes. So how we do it. Okay, so this one we already done validate, right? Okay, I pin this one and then show up for you. Okay, so I want to do the cancellation. Okay, we click the my invoice here. Okay, cancel the validated e-invoice. Okay, you have to pick some reason or else you can pick as other and then you put in the reason why lah. Okay, so for example, maybe wrong invoice details. Initiate cancellation. Okay, so you can see the status at first is the green tick, right? So right now it become the gray color one. So the status right now is cancel. Okay, so right now we need to do some changes for this invoice. Okay, we click edit. Okay, for example, the quantity it should be 2 drum. So I change it to 2 drum. So the subtotal is also changed from 2050 already changed to 4100. Okay, so right now we click save. Okay, so we repeat the step for the submission. Click on my invoice, submit e-invoice. Okay, this one you just click the retry button. Maybe too many requests. Okay, so after that you can see the new UUID is come out. Okay, and the status is valid. And the new invoice amount is showing up here. Okay, after that you just close for this one. Okay, you see the status is still in refresh status and then the log ID is empty. You can just click refresh. So the new UUID and log IDs is appear at here. I think inside the SQL doesn't have any notification prompt, but maybe you can go to the My Invoice portal to check and see. Because I think if they reject, they will have a notification inside the My Invoice. And then I'm not sure that Abby, is it will email you about the rejection for the invoice or not. This one I'm not sure. But I can confirm that SQL doesn't have the notification appear lah for if customer reject for this invoice. You have to log in inside the My Invoice portal to check. Okay, so this is how you do the cancellation for the e-invoice. Okay, so right now I will show you how to do the submission for the consolidated e-invoice. Okay, let's say I go to the cashiers. Okay, maybe I'm running the F&B business, right? So all my consumer is end user. Maybe mostly they don't need the e-invoice lah. Okay, so for that case, I need to submit the consolidated e-invoice to do. I know I no need to submit the e-invoice lah. Okay, so let's say I want to submit these two cashiers as the consolidated e-invoice. Okay, so how we do it? Okay, also the same, you no need to click inside the invoices. You click on the My Invoice, and then you click on this one, consolidate e-invoice. Okay, you put in the date range. For example, I put, okay, and then you tick for this one, include unsubmitted e-invoice, click apply. Okay, so all the invoices that not yet submit e-invoice will showing at here. Okay, for example, I just want to submit these two as the consolidated e-invoice. Okay, click next. Okay, so it will show the sequence like this, number 1 to number 2. So total amount is about 375. Okay, you just click on submit. So wait for a while. Okay, so this is the consolidated invoice number, and then this is the UUID. So the total amount is about 375, and the buyer name is general public. Because just now we already select the cashiers as the general public, and then the TIN number is EI, and then follow with the 9 zeros and then. Okay, so that's why when we do the submission, so it automatically capture as the general public. Okay, so this is you after you done submit the consolidate, no? Okay, you can refresh the status will be showing at here. Okay, so also have the time frame at here lah, like still remaining for how many days. Okay, so if you want to check the consolidate number, right, like just now the C1 the running number, you can click on this one, the small icon beside the cashier's number, click on consolidate number. So this is the number for the consolidated invoice lah. But this one, it just let you see the reference only. It doesn't affect for the accounting part. Because when you're posting the accounting part, it also posting as CS number 1 and number 2. Okay, so this one is just posting for the IIB. At this moment, yes, for the My Invoice portal. Because SQL doesn't provide any status if the customer reject for this invoice or not. So maybe every day maybe you have to log in inside the My Invoice portal and check for the status lah. If they really reject your invoice, right? So you have to come back to the SQL and then to do the cancellation. If already over the 72 hours, then maybe you have to issue the CN and then reissue a new e-invoice. Okay. So, okay, let's say if this invoice is over than 72 hours, okay, I'll show you how to do the CN. Okay, let's say for this one. Okay, we go to the sales, we go to the CN credit note. Okay, for the e-invoice, all the DN and the CN, it must be refer back to the validated invoices. Okay, like last time, maybe we can issue any DN or CN, right? But for right now, if you want to issue the CN, you have to refer back to the related e-invoice. Like for example, just now, maybe the invoice is already over than 72 hours. So I want to do the CN to reject it and then only issue the new one. Okay. So we come back to here, CN, we click new. Okay, you have to select the customer. For example, this one, Jandela Spectrum. Okay, you right click on top. Okay, if you want to totally reverse for that invoice. Okay, this is one of the way. Okay, another way later I will show you, like maybe you want to give the discount. Okay, but discount is actually I don't want to reverse the invoice, right? Like maybe they do the early settlement, so I want to give them like maybe 5% early settlement special discount. So later on you have another way to do it. Okay, but for this one, I want to totally reverse for that invoice. Okay, I transfer from sales invoice. For example, this one. Okay, so you see this color, this wording is in green color, which means it's transferred from another document. Okay, so you want to check from like this end is actually transferred from which document. Beside the item code, you can click on from document number. Okay, so this one is actually transferred from this invoice. Okay, and then the more here have the details for this customer. Okay, after that, you just click on save. Okay, do you want to knock off the transfer document? Okay, if the document just now for the invoice number 20, okay, if they didn't make any payment yet, so you want to knock off this CN with the invoice, then you just click for yes. Okay, after that, you have to submit this CN to the IRB. Okay, same, you click on the My Invoice, then submit for the e-invoice. Okay, so credit note done submitted, which is number 4. So this is the UUID, and then this is the supplier name, buyer name, and also the total CN amount. Okay, so which means that every document you need to do the submission for the invoice, not only for the sales invoice, DN, CN also you need to do it. Okay, and also CNDN is always you need to refer back to the related invoices. Okay, like this one, this CN is related with this invoice. Okay, so this is how you do the CN. Excuse me. Okay, after you're done for this part, so you have to go back to the sales invoice and issue a new invoice. Okay, so this is the cancellation after the 72 hours. Okay, the next case is the customer doesn't want to cancel any bills, but we just want to give the special discount to them, okay, for the early settlement. Okay, so how we do it? Okay, we click new. Okay, and then we select the customer. Okay, for example, I select for this customer. Okay, so you put in the details. Okay, you can see this one, the from document, right? Okay, so for example, the early settlement is related with maybe this invoice. Okay, so I just tick as this invoice, then click OK. This one can select multiple documents, not only one. It depends on your. Okay, so this one maybe special discount, like for early settlement. Okay, maybe 100 lah, okay, for example. And then you just click for save. Okay, this one is not related with the accounting, but because of the IRB requirements, so we need to select the related invoices. So we have to pick the invoices. Okay, after that, also the same, my invoice, submit the e-invoice. Okay, so this one is done, submit the credit note to the IRB for 100. Okay, after you're done for this part, right? So you have to do the knockoff. Okay, you have to go to the customer credit note. Okay, just now the sales credit note is number 5, right? Okay, so this one is the number 5. You add it. Okay, this one you just click for yes, because at first we key in the credit note under the sales part. So system asks, do you want to add it? So you just click for yes. Okay, so this one 100, so you want to knock off with this invoice. Okay, and then you just click for save. Okay, you see the outstanding at first is 700 for this invoice. Right now, maybe they they want to do the early settlement, so we give them the special discount, which is maybe 100. So right now the outstanding is become 600. So when they pay this one, the outstanding for 600, so you just create a customer payment as usual lah, to knock off for this invoice. Uh, you mean that maybe before the July, maybe they reject for the invoice. So how to issue the CN with the related invoice as because they didn't submit for invoice, right? Also the same. Okay, for example, I try and see whether, okay, let's say, for example, if this one, maybe I pick for this one, then I change the customer to this one. This one is already knocked off. Okay, I try to search and see whether the credit note from the form document number, is it only can search the validate e-invoice. Hold on. Mhm. This one, uh, this one. Okay, let's say I simply choose one of the item. Then I come back to the CN. Hold on, I try to do the testing in CN. Okay, just now is this customer, right? Yeah, Jandela Spectrum 21. Yeah, it will also show up. Even though this document doesn't submit to the e-invoice, it also will show up. So like for your case, maybe they want to like reject for the invoices before that, right? I mean before the July, and then you want to issue the CN. So right now the requirement for the e-invoice for the CN, they must be have the reference number, right? So you also can pick if the invoice if doesn't validate. Look, I think this is the transition period lah. So I think IRB still can accept for this one. Okay, so this is the CN. Okay, so after you create the CN, right, make sure that you have to come back to the customer CN to do the knockoff just now for this one. Okay, you have to come back and then add it, and then you have to take the bill lah, so that the outstanding for this bill will be reduced. Okay, so this is the cancellation for the e-invoice if over than 72 hours. Okay, so same for the DN, also the same. Okay, if maybe you short of building something, okay, but you also need to refer to the related invoices. Okay, also the same, you click new, okay, and then you pick the customer. Okay, maybe you short of maybe billing for this item lah, for example. Okay, so now you want to billing back, right? So actually this DN is related with this invoice. Okay, then just click for save. So left hand side more, you can double check the details at the bottom here for the my invoice. After that, you just click on my invoice, submit the e-invoice here. So this is the DN. Okay, so same for the CN, you must select the from document number. Okay, so this is the DN. Okay, so these are the sales part. So sales part for the my invoice function is only have under the invoice as sales and also the DN CN. Other than that, it's just the normal document. It doesn't need to do the submission for the e-invoice. Okay, next we go to the purchase. Okay, for the purchase invoice, if you purchase from the local buyer, right? Sorry, local supplier, you no need to do the submission for the invoice because they already do the submission. Okay, so all you need to do is you just key in as usual inside the accounting. Okay, if you don't want to key in as usual, so like I said just now, at the beginning, you can import from the my invoice. Okay, so how you do it is click the my invoice here, and then you batch import for the e-invoice. Okay, so you can choose the date. Okay, I'll show you again for this one. So click apply. Okay, so for example, this invoice, I want to import into my SQL accounting system. Okay, under the purchase invoice part. Okay, you tick for this invoice first. Okay, so you have to mapping of this supplier should be mapping with which one of your supplier. For example, this one. Okay, so the bottom one, you have to mapping the item code. Okay, this one, the disadvantage is you only can mapping with the item code. Okay, so if this bill is like maybe the expenses bill, so if you want to import, right? So you have to mapping the item code first. Then only you can After this bill is posting done inside the SQL accounting system under the purchase invoice, you have to edit and then you have to change the account code. Okay, because this one we only have the item code to mapping. We don't have the account code. Okay, so for this one, if you have the stock system, you have to mapping. For example, this one. Okay, so you see this one have the tax rate for 10%, right? So you have to mapping with your tax code also. And then you click import. So posting done. Refresh. So you can see this one is imported from the my invoice. Okay, this one is okay. If this customer, sorry, if this supplier already validate the e-invoice, right? You can double check from here. You see the more they have the UUID and also for the long ID, which means this one is the approved validated e-invoice. Okay, and then you see this one is mapping with our item code. Okay, so if you want to change the account code, right, you can click this one, then you click the account. Okay, right now it's captured as purchase bedding accessories. So if you want to change to another account code, you click edit. You can change it by yourself. Like for example, you want to change to this one furniture, you click save. Okay, so this one will be become more steps like depends on you see whether you want to use for this function or not. This one is not the mandatory step you need to do when you want to key in the purchase invoice. You still can using your old way, like key in manually inside the purchase invoice. You no need to import from this one, the my invoice. Okay, it's up to you. So this one is linked from your my invoice portal, and then supplier is got using your team number, so they will have the record inside the my invoice, so you can import into your SQL accounting, so that you don't need to manually key in inside SQL accounting lah. Okay, so this is one of the function that purchase invoice. Okay, so right now I will show you how to do the self bill. Okay, self bill is only for those maybe you purchase the services from the foreign supplier, or maybe you import the goods from foreign supplier. Or another case is maybe some of the expenses. Okay, maybe for example rental. Okay, the landlord maybe is individually, so maybe they doesn't running a business. Okay, so for that case, you want to prove for the expenses, right? So you have to issue the self bill to them lah. Okay, so I will show you under the purchase invoice first. Okay, if this one is the foreign supplier, so how we do it. Okay, make sure that your maintain supplier. Okay, for example, this one is SGD. For this one is the foreign supplier from Singapore. Okay. Okay, make sure that currency code you already pick as the foreign currency code. Okay, the classification depends on you are import of goods or service, or maybe it's under the others categories lah. Okay, if you are import the goods, so you can select for this one 035. Okay, and then the tax add here, you have to choose the TIN number as foreign supplier. Okay, and then you click save. Okay, then you close it. Okay, right now I try to issue the purchase invoice. Okay, for example, this one. Okay. Even though I choose as the services, but this one I think they doesn't have the service item code lah. So okay, I simply choose one lah. Okay, because I just want to show you how to submit for the self bill only. Okay, so this one is a currency rate, so you can change it by yourself. Okay, after that, at the more here, you can double check the details lah. So the submission, it should be become self bill. I think just now I forgot to change under the maintain supplier, but you have to change it. This one. Oh no. Yeah, this one. E-invoice submission, you have to change it as self bill. None is only for those local supplier. So maybe they don't need to submit for the e-invoice. So that's why we put as none lah. So for the foreign one, you have to choose as self bill. Okay, self bill, and then the TIN number is 30. So we try and see whether can submit for the self bill. Okay, also the same, we click the my invoice, submit the e-invoice. Okay, so this is the self bill invoice. So this is the invoice number. Okay, so the supplier name is our supplier, our foreign Singapore supplier, and then this is our company, and then this is the total amount. Okay, so this is one of the way how you submit your self bill lah. Okay, this one is you have the supplier name and then you have the details. So you can update inside the meeting supplier and then you can key inside the purchase invoice. Okay, right now I will show you another case, which is maybe rental expenses. Maybe the landlord doesn't running any business, but you want to prove the expenses. So we have to key under the cash flow entry. Okay, because that one rental is our expenses, it's not the purchases. So we won't key inside the purchase invoice lah. Okay, so we go to GL, cash flow entry. Okay, and then we click new PV. Okay, so payment to who lor? The landlord name. Okay, for example, the rental, right? If you have two landlord for that property, right? So you have to issue two PV. The separation you have to discuss with the landlord, see whether like maybe you want to separate like maybe equally or what. Okay, this one you have to discuss with them. If like each month of the rental is about like 2,000, right? So you have to issue two PV, maybe 1,000 for each PV lah, for each of the landlord. Okay, so for this one, uh I try to put my name and see whether it can work or not. Okay, for example, I put my name. Okay, this one is the today's date. Okay, and then the GL code maybe is rental. Okay, maybe this one is 1,000. This one you can put the month, like maybe rental for maybe June, for example. This one is one of the PV only. Okay, and then the more here left hand side, so you have to put the details. Okay, for example, I put my name. Okay, I just simply put the details. And then the country, Malaysia. Okay, postcode. Okay, so it will automatically come out the Bandar Lepas and the Pulau Pinang, and then the phone number. Okay, submission. This one you have to choose as self-bill. Okay, submission that you just leave it as blank. And then the ID type, you have to put the IC number. I put my IC and see. Okay, and then this one is the TIN number. If they got provide you, and you can put. If they doesn't provide you, then you just put the IC number will do lah. Okay, so this is the detail that I put in. Okay, we try to see whether can submit successfully or not. So I click save. My invoice, submit the e-invoice. Oh, this one is not the supplier. Oh, no. Which part is, hold on, I check the tin is not valid supplier. Oh, sorry, this one you have to choose as the general public. But this one, yeah, I try and see. Yeah, you see this one is submit successfully. This one is my real IC number, my real name. So it can submit successfully, lor, like 1,000 for this rental and then to myself. Petty cash expenses, what kind of the expenses that you mentioned about? This one is only for those expenses that doesn't have the company name. Like if you have the company, they sure already have validated the invoice. Like maybe for this case, it's rental, right? So maybe for me, I didn't run any business. So you have to like self-bill me to prove your expenses, and then you have to log my income inside inside my income tax. So when I submit my personal tax, I will have this income for 1,000. Shopee, I think Shopee they will issue you the e-invoice. You can request the e-invoice from them after you purchase from them lah. And then you maybe have to fill in some company information, so they will email you the e-invoice. Okay, so this is one of the example for the rental. Okay, so and then another landlord, right? So okay, I also use the same details. Okay, I just want to show you like maybe each month of the rental is about 2,000. So you have to separate into two PV. Okay, so I also put in the same details. So I click save. Okay, so I submit again. Okay, so this one is self-bill invoice, submit for 1,000. So total, if you browse to the screen, this one is submit as 2,000 for the rental. Okay, so how do we like combine these two PV into okay, when you do the bank recon, you make payment for 2,000, right? But actually you just make 2,000 a whole lump sum to me. Okay, but because of maybe different landlords, so you have to issue for two PV, different PV. Okay, so after you done verify all the things, right? You go to each of the PV. I mean, you go to either one, okay? You right click and then go to open bank deposit. Okay, you click new. Okay, this one you just leave it blank. And then the date, okay, you can filter the date law. Like for example, this one is for today date, right? Okay, and then payment method, you choose as Maybank. Document type, you choose as payment voucher. You click search. Okay, so I tick for these two. You click OK. Okay, so total for this 18 for this bank deposit is about like total amount is 2,000. So we click save. Okay, after that, when you do the bank recon, right? So you just click new. Okay, for example, I do the bank reconciliation for this month for Maybank, apply. So inside the bank recon, making payment to me. So it's about total amount is 2,000, something like that. Okay, so this is how you do the expenses. If you're paying to the individual. Okay, this one is not only for the rental, like maybe you're paying the commission, okay, to the agent or distributors, also use the same way. Like you key in as usual, but under the more side here, you have to put in the details, like maybe the name, address, all of these details, and their IC number. Okay. So this is the submission for the invoice for the self-bill. Okay. Is there any question regarding for the self-bill? I try to search the guideline for you guys and see for the self-bill. Yeah, this one is the self-bill e-invoice. Uh, address. But I think address is a must for the may- mm, I try to see and see whether can submit or not if I didn't put the address details. Okay, for example, I didn't put, but this one the postcode, if you doesn't have the address, then postcode you also don't have, right? But I think postcode also is a mandatory field you have to fill in, no? Maybe you have to request the address from them for this one. This one is a compulsory field. Because if you didn't put anything, right? Like maybe you just have their name and also the IC number. I try and see whether can submit or not. Oh, still can submit for this one. But but I check inside the guideline is need the address lah. You see the guideline at here. Yeah, you see they got filling the address. I try and see hold on. I see the guideline they got filling the address. So I'm showing you the correct way. But I'm not sure that for this one, they still can submit lah, but I think it's better you request the address from them lah for this one. Since they have the field, we like you to fill in, right? Okay, all right. So this is the self-bill e-invoice. I can share you the link. Okay, so on top is the PM bill. PM bill is billed to your company, right? So if they bill to your company, I think you don't need to do the invoice because they sure need to do the submission first. Then you just receive the bill, you just key in as usual will do. I mean the normal way only lah. You no need to do the submission. So this is the guideline. And then, yeah, actually this one you can go through and see. Inside got many information you can study lah. So yeah, okay. So if you want to join any seminar, I'm not sure that right now is this one is under PJ. So if you are in KL, maybe you can join. This one is free of charge. So it's in Malay. You can double check and see at here lah. This one is free of charge. So depends on like which one you are suitable. Like this one is English session, so you can join for it. This one is conducted by HQ. Okay, so I can share you for this link also. E-invoice seminar. Okay, so any question regarding on the SQL submission part for the e-invoice? If no, I think I will end the training at here. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so if doesn't have any questions, so I will end the training at here. So thank you guys for joining. So if you have any issue, maybe you can seek advice or support from our support team lah. Okay, so that's all for today. So the video I think after done convert we will email to you lah. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I will stop the meeting here. Thank you. Bye bye.